George Reeves finally became a star at 38 years old. After nearly 2 decades of minor roles and near misses, he put on a blue suit and red cape, and suddenly he was everywhere. Children believed in him. Parents trusted him. America knew his face. He wasn't just playing Superman, he was Superman. Before television, Reeves had been a working actor in the studio system. He appeared in dozens of films throughout the 1930s and 1940s, including a small but visible role in Gone with the Wind. But leading man's status always seemed just out of reach. He had the looks, the voice, the presence, yet the major stardom never quite arrived. Then television changed everything. In 1952, Adventures of Superman premiered. At a time when TV sets were just beginning to enter American homes, Reeves became one of the first true television icons. The show was a hit. His salary was strong. Public appearances brought screaming children and national recognition. For the first time in his life, he had stability. But Hollywood had hierarchy. Film actors were considered elite. Television was seen as smaller, temporary, even disposable. Reeves tried to return to movies during breaks from the show, but casting directors struggled to see him as anything other than Clark Kent. The cape that made him famous was quietly closing other doors. Friends later said he was increasingly aware of it. He was aging out of youthful leading roles. The series eventually ended production. There was talk of reviving it, but nothing concrete. He began directing small projects, hoping to expand his range. Privately, there were pressures as well. For years, Reeves had been in a relationship with Toni Mannix, the wife of Eddie Mannix, a powerful executive at MGM. Their affair was widely known in Hollywood. Eventually, Reeves ended the relationship and became engaged to Leonore Lemon. It was a shift in his personal life, and according to some accounts, not a peaceful one. On June 16, 1959, George Reeves was found dead in his Los Angeles home from a gunshot wound. The official ruling: suicide. Police concluded that after an evening gathering at the house, Reeves went upstairs and shot himself. But almost immediately, questions surfaced. Some people there that night gave inconsistent accounts about what they heard. Reports circulated about multiple gunshots. Friends claimed Reeves had been making future plans, including wedding arrangements and career ideas, and did not seem despondent. None of those questions resulted in a reopened case. Still, speculation grew. One of the most persistent rumors centered on Eddie Mannix. Because Reeves had once been involved with Mannix's wife, and because Mannix had a reputation as a powerful studio fixer whose job was to quietly manage scandals, some wondered whether the situation was more complicated than it appeared. There has never been verified evidence linking Mannix to Reeves's death, but the rumor endured for several reasons. Hollywood in the studio era had enormous behind-the-scenes power structures. Executives influenced media coverage, controlled contracts, and shaped public narratives. That atmosphere made secrecy believable to the public. At the same time, Reeves's death collided with his image. He was television's first major superhero. To many Americans, especially children, he symbolized strength and moral certainty. The idea that Superman could die by his own hand was difficult to accept, so alternative explanations filled the emotional gap. In later decades, books and even the film Hollywoodland revisited the case, exploring competing theories. Yet the official ruling has never changed. What remains is not just a mystery. It is a cautionary story about early television fame. George Reeves achieved what countless actors chase: recognition, financial security, cultural impact. But he also experienced the narrowness that can follow a defining role: typecasting, aging in a youth-focused industry, and the pressure of living up to a heroic image created a private reality far different from the one on screen. Millions saw Superman. Very few saw the man behind him. And perhaps that contrast, more than any rumor, is why George Reeves' death still lingers in Hollywood history.